Silently under the release of Weapon X and Adamantium Infusion, Chamber has dropped, and I think it's probably going under the radar for a lot of people. It's not as big and explosive or interesting as a card like Weapon X, but it definitely has some utility. Before we talk about the card, you should probably know who Chamber actually is. His real name was Jonathan Starsmore, and he didn't exactly get his powers, but they exploded straight through his chest when his mutation activated. Yeah, this card is quite dark, but also very interesting. The explosion kind of took his heart, his lungs, and his lower jaw, and left that space with raw psychic energy, which became the only thing keeping him alive, and, well, the thing he used to stop other people from being alive. He doesn't breathe or eat, and he doesn't sleep like a normal person, which I suppose would make him a terrible roommate, but an extremely effective mutant. And unlike Wolverine and the other Weapon X characters, Chamber wasn't built and he wasn't trained. He wasn't modified, but he was kind of just what happens when evolution presses a randomizer, I suppose. Now let's see what they've done with him in Marvel Snap. So, Chamber. Chamber has been very fun, actually. A lot more fun than I expected, and I think it's being overshadowed a little bit by Weapon X right now. It fits into a very different style of decks, and I think it's more consistent than Weapon X, but has a lower ceiling. So here is a deck that I decided to make. It's very much around just activates, and I'll be honest, I will show you a couple of other decks, but this one is the one that I purely played today, mainly because I kept having fun with it and kept going back for more games. But the idea here is relatively simple. It's just Chamber, Herbie, and Jennifer Keller's activates. Herbie you can use for some energy if you need it early on. Otherwise, the main goal here with Herbie is to double, and then have Jocasta in the same location to double as well. Chamber, Jocasta, Jennifer Kale can go in its own lane. Merlin is a strange one. Now, I think I teched Merlin in here mainly because we were seeing a lot of the altar location that destroys units. Luckily I didn't run into too many destroy decks today, but it's in here because of the location changer and also evolve. And now I think evolve is really good because if you drop something like Herbie or Jennifer Kale or even a Mega Sentinel, evolving it into a card higher is very worthwhile. Jocasta is kind of self-explanatory. Luna for Ram. Omega as an activate, a very good activate as well, especially if you double it and evolve it. Nick Fury is in here for Chamber, but also because you have a lot of Ram and Eson. And then you've got Red Hulk's just probably the best 6-drop apart from maybe Galactus, but I think I prefer Red Hulk. And then Valkyrie is in here for some tech, and as I've spoke to a couple of people in the comments, Valkyrie is very underrated right now. Valkyrie on top of Chamber or Herbie before you activate it on the final turn is great, especially with Jocasta. And I mean, it can even work with Red Hulk. If you Valkyrie and they still have the Lunar Snow thing in their location, there's a couple of uses for it. But yeah, and that is mainly that deck. I will say maybe change Merlin for something after this location ends, mainly because Eson gets conflicted a little bit. There are a few times in here where I wanted to play Eson to pull out something from Nick Fury, but it would always pull a spell. So I think for recommendation I would probably go Valentina. Now the main reason here is you have Eson as well, and Eson only hitting Nick Fury things is a little bit underwhelming, so I think Valentina gives a bit of extra utility, as well as working towards Chamber. Now, onto the next deck. This is an interesting one. I haven't had enough chance to play it properly yet to let you guys know how it is, but I'll probably play it in a future video. Is Arasham, Eson to pull from the hand, Red Hulk again. A lot of these cards are for the same explanation. I Am Patriot puts a card in hand for Chamber. Thaddeus mainly pulls Red Hulk and Eson, but maybe other things for Arasham, but is also good for Chamber. Then Quinjet, obviously self-explanatory. And Shadow King just for a little bit of tech, because Arisham kind of always has tech, but I didn't want to lean too heavily into it with this deck. We have Devil Dinosaur for filling the hand. And yeah, this is kind of a mix between Arisham and what most of the chamber decks are at the moment. And then the third and final deck here is more of a classic chamber, which is chamber with a few other utilities to fill the hand. Bit of ramp again and a blink to send out the Electro. Enchantress for a little bit of tech. Hydro Man is an interesting one because a lot of these cards are very good to hit with Hydro Man. I think he's a very useful card in a chamber deck, especially seeing as discounted cards still count towards chamber. Vision is just a fairly underrated 5-drop, I think, especially if you hit him with 1. I mean, a 1/9 that you can constantly move around is very strong. And then Isan, for a similar reason of just filling your hand with stuff and pulling stuff out. Again, probably not extremely useful because you only have 2 cards here, but I'd still like Isan as a card. I think putting down a big 6-drop that can then just pull another 6-drop unexpectedly is very strong. And then Galactus in here instead of Red Hawk, but you can always, I think they're kind of interchangeable all the time. But yeah, those are the decks. This is my favorite and the one I'll be showcasing today. So I hope you guys enjoy the decks and let me know how you get on with them. Now to the games. Thought I'd start off showcasing this deck because it is kind of a homebrew one. It seems a little bit chaotic, and honestly it can be, but it is insanely fun. Although, this is what I was going to say. Today is the Altar of Death day, so you might have to suspend your disbelief briefly. Because this is going to bring about a lot of destroy decks. Interesting. That kind of nullifies my Omega Sentinel, unfortunately. Chamber always goes here. Are they playing Cerebro? Yeah. They are definitely playing Cerebro. Okay. Valkyrie is kind of going to negatively impact us here. A location changer off Merlin might be pretty good, just to see if we can screw with them, but other than that, there's not much I can really do. Okay. Interesting. I can probably snap next turn if they don't get priority here. The Altar of Death is too cheeky. With Legion. Oh. This is the main idea anyway, is to get other activates onto caster's location. Not sure if Herbie gets a ability first turn. But we will see. Oh, that's a lot of cards. Okay. Once in future didn't work because of Cosmo. This is the only thing we can do. Let's see what happens. Oh, they retreated. Oh, that was going to be too funny. Yeah, that would have been too funny. I'm hoping people are a little bit over the destroy decks. Just for today. Just while Altar of Death is activated. Because I think if I am to encounter a destroy deck, I'm probably screwed.
This land can never be fully known.
Interesting. Very interesting. I think what I do here is I Luna Snow. The next turn I can play Eson here. The only problem with Eson and Merlin is these spells though. I'd really like to play Eson here just so that I can get Arnim Zola procced. But I think maybe... Struggling to figure out the play line a little bit. Because Merlin is start of turn and Eson is end of turn, if you've played the spells, it works. Null. Null is actually going into negative because of this. That's interesting. And this will always be Valkyrie or Red Hulk. Valkyrie's a little bit of a loss. But I think it's the play still. I'm really sending that null into negative. Not sure why Omega Sentinel didn't work there. But... oh, that doesn't really work, does it? And this will always bring down a once in future. Maybe try this. They might have expected me to end the game there.
Still a little late.
Wow, Heimdall's kind of busted actually.
I am Iron Man.
Okay, well, I think it's Heimdall. Arnim isn't incredible. And the rest of my plays don't really get me anywhere, so... there is the possibility of Eson and then hope that I get Heimdall, but it's not worth the risk.
I see the way.
Hit null? I mean, that's fine. It's the least impactful outcome though, sadly. Nice.
Victory.
This Spider-Man 2099, if it hit null, would have been incredible. Okay, we might have some good activates this time. I don't want to draw chamber. I have a habit of recording these videos and then not drawing the card. Oops, I think I just hit my mic. I love running Herbie, not Herbie. My brain really just stopped there. I love running Valkyrie. Alongside cards like Herbie and Chamber. I think I'm kind of screwed. This deck is a little scary. Do I need more energy next turn? I get +2/+2, 4. I'm gonna have 9 energy. Play. I don't think it's relevant. Really want the doubling ability, if any.
I am inevitable.
Okay, so Thanos is
This time.
probably always going right. For 7 energy, there's not a lot we can do. This doesn't say it can't have its power reduced though. Okay, they go first. Ison is not bad. Well, it is kind of bad if it pulls Destroyer. I kind of want to Valkyrie, but like, where are they going to put Galactus? They could think they're safe with Altar of Death. This is kind of weak, but let's see where they put Galactus. Not Galactus. What's his called? Thanos. There we go. We're still 13. Yeah, because of Power Stone. Close though. I forgot that that was what Power Stone did. Never mind. The beauty of Chamber is you can put it down any turn up until 6.
This just in.
Oh, they got... Oh no, it's not highest cost. Wasp. Okay, well, Wasp is going right, and I think we're then getting rid of this.
Snap.
I'm going to snap purely because I don't think they're going to expect me to get rid of the location. Also, I have a habit of snapping later and people leaving. I also love to snap. Just on any situation, really. It raises the stakes and I think it makes it more fun. Bullseye. I can do this with the hopes that I get Jocasta. My other options are... it's like Luna Snow and Jennifer Kale. I'm going to do this. There's a lot of energy cheat in this deck. Jennifer Kale, Luna Snow, and Herbie. Mainly for Eson and Red Hawk, and things from Nick Fury. Okay, I think I want to stop that from happening. We got Jocasta though. To stop it is difficult. It's got to be... That's 9, is that even enough? No, I think this is more powerful. We don't have many 5 or 6 cost cards in hand though, they're kind of all hiding in our deck. Magic, okay. You give me the location thingy, Merlin. Thank you very much. 2 energy is nothing special. So I guess it's this. Let's see the insanity happen. I'm not even that strong on power in all these locations, I'm just hoping it's enough. If Herbie was the double link, I think I would feel more safe. Okay, did Invisible Woman... Invisible Woman went off.
I want the throne. I want the throne.
That's interesting.
Victory.
Okay. Yeah, that was a little bit insane. I'm not sure how Invisible Woman procced. But it's nice. Maybe it's because it's last turn. Although making activate abilities happen just because it's the last turn probably isn't the best either. Huh, interesting. Herbie can be pretty big here. I need to hope that I get the doubling ability later. Although getting it now isn't the worst, seeing as Lockjaw's out. With Thanos buff. Let's do this. Next turn it gives me 6 power. It also gives them 6 power, that's the issue. Storm.
Wind, aid my hand.
Okay, they got Electro.
Opponent snapped.
It's that combo again, isn't it? So they're going to go War Machine, then Legion. War Machine, Legion, and Thanos. War Machine, Legion, Thanos. Here's what I'm thinking. I put... If Thanos is 12... I think I might be okay, you know.
Wind, aid my hand.
Yeah, I think I'm okay. So I pretty much do this, into this, into this. I think they were trying to scare me off.
Hello! Can you understand me?
Yeah. Even beat the Infinite.
Victory.
Nice. Well, there's a game where Chamber actually pulled through. Let's pretend that Chamber pulled through because I forgot about Red Hulk going off. And Nickley, they would have won without him, but a cool representation of the power. And the Jocasta stuff going off is really cool as well. I kind of want to play one more of this deck, I can't lie. Chamber, Jocasta, and Mega Sentinel. The thing is, I've been really debating Merlin in this deck. I think Merlin as a card is really cool with Evolve, purely for the activate cards, because, I mean, once you activate them, they're kind of understated in a lot of cases. Things like Jennifer Kale, I mean, especially in Mega Sentinel. That is good. But then a Mega Sentinel into... Like, Blink is good, a Mega Sentinel into... Oh, interesting. So they're trying to pull off a combo. A Mega Sentinel into Evolve is also pretty good. Oh, it's the same deck. One that I faced before. The Bullseye one. Interesting purely because I don't really know its goal. And then it's Red Hulk on the left, probably. Which means I shouldn't have Lunar Snowed, but Unless I do that. No, that doesn't really win me a lot of games, does it? So we do this, and this, this, and this. Chamber will only get 4 procs, but maybe it's good enough. I'm really not sure what they're trying to pull off here. Dakin, okay. Wow. Well,
Victory.
I guess it's a Dakin deck. Oh, is it Dakin like Arnhem Zola? But it's probably refined more to just be about making the biggest Dakin possible rather than discarding. Interesting. But that did not showcase that deck. Be curious to try it out one time though. Wow, this is looking like a killer hand actually. No. The one thing I'm playing the deck for. Oh. Well, I guess let's see if the deck can still do its thing without Chamber. They're probably playing Blink. Legion. It's a strange one. Let's try this. Eason's pretty good. Although that is kind of annoying. Interesting. Okay. This goes to 19. Which means I kind of need to play this here. And I don't think there's any reason for me to polymorph Merlin, but I could do it twice. Oh, they retreated.
Victory.
So that was the deck, and I don't think I have too much more to add. Mainly because I recorded this one slightly different to usual. Usually I'd record the intro before I do the games and then record this as like a retrospect. But I'm more gonna just tell you whether you should get Chamber or not. I think if you enjoyed this deck and what I was doing with it, then I'd 100% go for Chamber. Chamber is very unique in what it does, but can ultimately be changed for something like Herbie. I think you could always lean more into a slightly different archetype if you didn't want to go for the Nick Fury Chamber style stuff. But I think that is very fun, and I definitely recommend playing this deck if you have Chamber. But if you don't, it might be one of those where you wait later in the week just to see how things shape up. Because it's quite a big investment, and this season there's quite a few good cards coming out. A lot of them are archetype specific, however, so if you, say, don't like discard, you're probably going to pass out on quite a few of those discard decks cards, and then maybe Chamber's a bit of a better option. But ultimately, I really enjoyed this deck, and I know I'm going to keep coming back to it. It doesn't quite hit my Evolve deck levels, but it's getting close. I have really been enjoying this one. And yeah, I think that's about it. As I say, Valentina instead of Merlin is a good option. I think I'll probably do that from here on out and just see how things go. And yeah, everything else seemed to work relatively smoothly. It'll be nice when we get some more Activate support in the future. Maybe if there's a card that's like ongoing, you know, plus whatever for however many Activate cards are in play, then a deck like this will be kind of insane. And I'm trying to think if in the future I think it's the card's called Aurora, maybe? I can't quite remember. The 6-drop that like buffs activates and on reveals and things. Maybe it works in a deck like this if you alter it slightly. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But for now, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Thanks in advance, and I'll speak to you all next time.